you're ready for me. Okay, welcome back everyone. I'm gonna sing to you today because today we're going to do a practical exercise on creating our CVs using Microsoft Word. Okay, so what we have here is I am Sarah Knowles. This is my CV and I want to jazz it up. I want it to look nice, and it's not a bad CV, but I want it to be easy for the recruiter and employer, whoever, to read my CV and make it nice and clean. Okay, so this is my master CV with everything that I want to put into my new CV. So to start with, let's open up a new document. So we're going to go for a blank document here, nice and empty, and then I'm just going to put all my headings. So what you can do is minimize this and then minimize your master CV if you're doing this alongside me, which would be great. Okay, and then just start typing. So we'll start off with who you are at the top, so your name at the top. And make this experience fun. So usually I would have music on in the background. Have a nice I've got my cup of tea here. Or whatever you do. Just make it fun. Okay. So putting all the details here. And in your email, remember what we talked about last week? We said use your name for your email. So if you've got an email that has numbers in it, remove that. But the director did highlight something. If you're called John Smith, then I don't know how you're going to do that actually. Right, and now we're going to put all the other titles. So your personal statement or personal summary at the top. And then for Sarah, because she is experienced and she's applying for a human resources role, we're going to put her skills and achievement after the personal statement. And then we're going to put her experience, so work experience, as the next title. And we're going to put her education, right? So you can order it and how you like it. So now that we've got all our titles in place, and now I'm going to do my lovely boxes. So I like to put things into little boxes so my titles are clear and separated. It means that the person can really see which section is what. All right. So to do this, I would use, let's make this a large screen now so we can actually see what we're doing here. So to do this, I would use tables. All right, so I will highlight this, highlight my personal statement, go to insert, click on table, and then go to convert text to table and click OK, and you get a nice table there. Okay, and then we're gonna style the table so you don't actually get to see the table. It's going to look really nice. It's just a nice way of keeping everything structured and neat. So we'll do that again. So table, convert text to table, boom. Next one. Some of you might find that you'll learn an easier way to do this or a faster way to do this. Once you get used to creating your own, tailoring your CV, and you have master copy. So once you've got this one, you can just edit the key area, the key text, okay? So the first one can be a bit tedious, but you have to do it. And I spelled education wrong. Okay, so we've got it in boxes. It's not pretty, but it's already starting to look a bit neater. So we're going to start first with your name. Let's make that, go to home, bold, use the B, and then I'm going to go to my font size. I'm going to make that font 16. Let's make it 16. Okay, let's make it 16, nice and big. I'm going to go to the paragraph section and I'm going to align that center. I'll do the same into my contact detail, align that center. I'm also going to make that size 12, so it's a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to space my address, number, and email. So to do that, I'm going to click on Shift, and then I'm going to use the next to your Alt, if you're using PC, Shift, and you can put that little vertical line in the middle, and space, and do the same. So Shift, vertical line. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to look lovely already. Now to get rid of the boxes. So you don't want to see the box outline. To do that, you click on it here. So look, let's do your personal statement. And then you go along your paragraph. In your paragraph, you've got this box here, which is the borders. You click on that, and it gives you a selection of type. I'm going to choose no border because I don't want to see the box. And then I'm going to fill the box. I've picked a light blue. So can you see how nice that is already? All right, so that's already highlighting my text. It's highlighting my title. And I'm going to align that center. And I'll make that bold as well. So already it's looking nice and clean. All right, so then you do the same for all the other titles. Okay, we've done that. Now let's get all our text into the main section. So I'm going to do the very thing I was preaching about last week. I'm going to copy and paste, but I'm going to edit my copy and paste. I'm not just going to copy and paste from a master and leave it that way. We've got ourselves nice and ready. So make your gaps, right? Make yourself ready so that when you copy and paste, your CV doesn't mess up. So this is one I worked on earlier. I've always wanted to say that. This is one I made earlier. And now we're going to copy here. So I'm going to copy my personal statement. And the personal statement, I used all the guidelines from the last workshop. I made sure that it was clear. I highlighted, I summarized my skills, how my years of experience, and really sold myself. So I'm going to paste it in here at the top. And then you start making it a bit cleaner as well. And sometimes it'll give you, see how it helps you with your grammar and your punctuations and things like that. Okay, use it. So when you see things highlighted, this is why you have to take your time when you're making your CV. Don't just rush it because you'll miss things like this, right? So when I created this the first time, I missed a punctuation here and it helps me there, or a comma, right? So I'm just going to move that up a little bit because you don't need all that space. Okay, there we go. And now I need my skills and achievement. This is just to make it a bit quicker. Okay, I'm going to copy that and paste it here. I wanted to paste. I wish you'll paste a bit messy so we can see. So you can see it doesn't paste the same. Okay, again, I've broken it down with my skills. I've got my core skills here. So the job was asking for somebody who's had time management skills, teamwork experience, and all that stuff. I broke it down. And what you can do is when you've got your core skills, you can highlight the title of what it is and give an example of when you have done it. Okay? Give examples that shows, and make sure the example that you give links into the job description, which we're going to look at a different job description later, but you will see how I'm going to show you a little trick of how to do that. But for now, we're just creating a lovely CV, a nice clean CV. So this section is nice and neat. And then we've also got the achievement here. So each title, make it bold. So what you want the recruiter to see, use the B in your paragraph. Make it bold, make it interesting, and make sure that it's actually specific to the application. So as you can see, Sarah's probably achieved a lot of stuff. No, Sarah's definitely achieved a lot of stuff, right? Sarah is an A grade kind of person. But to make her specific to this job, she was a winner of the People Management Award last year. So that is the achievement that Sarah's going to put in here, okay? But she doesn't want to put in that she was also the bake salesperson of the year, unless the company is into cakes and things, then she can put that. But that's Sarah's achievement. And now we're going to go into our work experience. So again, Sarah's got a lot of work experience here, but this master CV here, this is an old CV that Sarah used to use for her HR. We're just going to copy the work experience here. Ooh, let's take the whole thing. copy, and then we're gonna pop it in here. Now this can get a bit messy. Can you see that? See, all the bullet points have gone messy. I don't mind this. So this is where we're going to have to work on it, okay? So that bullet point is not registering in this one because I didn't keep the format of the last paste. You can keep the format and then it'll keep everything the same. But I wanted it to be messy so we can actually play on it. And there's a lot of bullet points to play with. So I took away the bullet point from the first one, delete that, and then I create a new bullet point. So now all I have to do is delete this and then press return. So then that starts to make sure that all of our bullet points match. Okay, so you do not have an excuse for why some of your bullet points are sticking to the other end or some of your bullet points are different sizes. And this is why you need music, because it keeps you going. Okay, and also what you want to do with your job title and your dates, you want to make that bold again. So you can see there's a consistent layout here. The titles are all bold. Your name is the one that you're going to have a different font size. So you know, change the font size. We're going to keep the font because it's actually readable. It's clear, but we're going to have a look at that later. And look at the spacing as well. We're still in 2 pages. Perfect. Okay, and then just separate it. Here we go. So this is Sarah's next job here, and again we're going to have to do the same with the bullet point because it didn't register that bullet point. A new one, delete this, press return so you can keep the sections. And then when you've done this, you can also have a look. You can see some of the bullet points have full stop in the sentences, some of them don't have full stop in the sentences. So decide what you want to do. Do you want to keep the full stop? If so, then you have to put a full stop in all your other bullet point sentences. It's just little details, especially if you say you have attention to detail. That is something that is going to, you know, that could affect your CV. Little things. If the recruiter has a lot of people, a lot of CVs to look at, they're gonna have to find ways of really making sure that they've got the best. And little things like this, like CV, as you can see, I've got spelling mistakes here. So if I was rushing this and I thought my CV was looking fantastic and I just sent it with all these spelling mistakes, again, that is another reason for losing your opportunity. And use the tool. Sometimes this is actually a tool that's called Zoho. You just ignore it or you can add it to dictionary. Okay, and that's another one. So the tedious bit that we're doing is bullet points. And Sarah, and what you could do is make sure that now that you've got your positive verbs, right? So you've got your CV, get your positive verb on the link that we shared with you, and then have a look at how you can add it to make sure that your CV is actually selling yourself. So Sarah's got here, assist the recruitment. She's actually doing stuff, conducting, checking, managing. Again, she's assisting, liaising. I'll tell you who told me this. Joy Lewis at AAI has told me this, to start your CV, your bullet point, with a positive verb, with a doing word. Remember that tip. Start your CV, especially in your bullet points, underneath your experience, your duties. Start your sentence with a doing word. It's power. It shows that you can do it. Okay, and then we're going to copy her education here, or you can type it, but because we've already written it, we can just copy it here, and we're going to edit, of course. Make sure it's nice, and let's align it. We don't want it to be all sideways. Okay, she's only got, and obviously she's going to need to add more than just that. Let's actually copy, because that was a table. Copy. I'm going to delete that. So you can see I missed the whole table there. And I'm going to paste it. So to keep that alignment, to keep what I've just copied here, because it's a table, you look at your paste option and it gives you, so if you highlight it, if you just hover over the option, it'll tell you. So either you want to keep it to your destination, which is the new document, or you want to keep the source format, which is your other document. We want to keep the source format because it keeps that into a table. So click on that. It keeps it in a nice table here. And then what you can do is, if you want to align it, if you're being a bit picky about what it looks like, you can reduce the font if you want to, or keep it the way it is. I'm going to keep mine the way it is because it actually looks all right. And then all I'm going to do is maybe align it. Yeah. So if we have a look at our final CV, it's really clear and easy, and you can again go back into it and make sure, for example, I'll give it a bit more space up on my personal statement so it's not all bunched up together. And if you want to here, you can make your core skills and tech skills, you can actually, you know, tab it so that is separated, and again it makes it much clearer what that section is, and you can make that a little bit bigger. You can put that size of that title so it can really highlight what that section is without you putting too much wording into it. Yeah. And same with my achievement. So again, it's all about being consistent with your layout and just being aware that it doesn't take you off to 3 pages while you're being consistent. Make it nice and clean. And then what I will do here is I will go to my review on top here, and I'm gonna check for my spelling errors, and it gives me this section here where you can edit. Okay, so my spelling is in English, and apparently my spelling is okay, correction is fine, grammar is fine, but still read it, still send it off to somebody to have a look, send it to yourself to see, does this look good? Does this, you know, am I selling myself? Does this highlight my key experiences and skills? And that looks fine. And if we compare it, let's just minimize this one and compare the two. And then you have a think. All right. So yes, the first CV was fine. The first CV was clear. The first CV would have been okay to send. But the second CV, it just makes it that much clearer, that much easier to read. And you can also track, you know, if I was a recruiter, I can see, if I want to look at the work experience, I know where that section is. I can go straight into it and have a look at it. If I want to look at her skills, I can go straight in here and have a look at that. The personal statement is clear. It's, you know, 4 lines here, 2 sentences, clean. All right. So hopefully you found that easy to do. And there are many ways of creating a CV, but this is one that I like to share with people that's easy to do. And practice. It means you can use all the different tools in here in Microsoft, in Word, which is now it's very easy to use when you practice. And I'll put the key things that we use here just to create this, to create the title section. Click on that. We just went on insert, we went on table, and we converted the text into a table. And then to remove the table borders, we just went here in the paragraph section and highlighted the borders, and then we click no borders. And then we used the fill here, which you can choose any color, no color whatsoever, but you can choose anything and highlight it. Make sure it's, you know, if you choose, for example, that color, which is brown, I would then change the font into white. All right, so think, whatever you do, have a look and think, will the person be able to read it? Yeah. And then, yeah, so align it and everything. So I hope you enjoy that, and let us know how you get on. Share your CV with us. Let us know how you get on. Ask us some questions. We're very happy to support you. Thank you very much. Bye.